Sometimes art is prophetic, and sometimes I don't know how to offset it. The words too authentic to constantly do what I do and augment it. Y'all talk a big game, can't tell if y'all meant it. If seconds turns to minutes, the ticking will tell all. Will you hold firm or steadily fall? Will you conform with the ways of the world, or will you give the world everything that you are? Make them fuckers move around you, kinda like sound do. Break out of everything that they had you bound to. You got knocked down, ho, get ready for round two. It's round two, get ready for round two. Come back, run rap, run laps around these cats, jump back. Kiss myself, still keeping me intact. Weird and black, they for that, hold up, steer it back. Weird and black, they revere that, yup, you hear that?
Turnstile, switch it up. Young nigga raised hard, he learned not to give a fuck. Young nigga came far, still never give enough. Coming with the flavor, delicious, so she lick it up. Bust down, stick it up, I put it down, so pick it up. Scud town, saviors, done some till he shift to musk. Stench so stank that the shit compares soft to us. Crud so dank, make your face smudge dripping, cuz club go shake when the bass gets to hitting ya. They ain't really hearing us, but they gon' feel something when the way is paved clear enough. I don't fear nothing but the fate is God really not. Well, fuck it, got the world in my hands, and that's real enough. Fuck it, got the world in my hands, gold forms to touch. Might just spend it all one time to give it all to us. Yeah, give it all to us.
Yeah, this that hip-hop body rock, hardcore karate chop, neo-Nazi nasty, not feel it in my chest. How could you wear that name? Must be automatic shame. He's an automatic lame, heard it from the best. Fresh flow, let's go, plus I got a lot of heart. It's necessary when you dabble in this art. Grab canvas, paint picture, use them acrylics, paint a picture so vivid the people gotta feel it like the kava. Lyrics bear fruit like guava, words spilling out of my brain like lava. Spills out the top of a volcano, and they know that A-Right is not the one to play. No, I'm Kano in Mortal Kombat, cause the lyrics like blades. Aim it at your jugular when I'm on stage. Until you heard me spit, homie, you ain't heard rage. On another chapter, so turn a turn. Okay, got that out my system. A-Right on another planet, dog, you must have missed them. When I do it, how I do it's of my own volition. Go make my destination even in the worst condition. My crew's the Blues Brothers, cause you know we on a mission. Eternity of roses I make bumping in your system. I mean, banging it, and I'm still hanging it. And I got a gang of wisdom, I got a gang of rhythms, I got a lot of soul. I found the pot of gold, I'm wrapping that shit up, gon' sell it to the globe. I got some game to give them, they don't really want, but they really need it. And I want you to succeed, I want you to be free. I want you to remove every obstacle from being what you truly wanna be. I truly wanna see, and I can only lead by example. So here's a sample for me, so get up.
Do you guys hear?
He's the one drinking beer. I'm drinking water.
2 touchdowns a game?
Yes, in the game.
You're tripping.
Hell yeah. High
Super Bowl time.
I don't know what we're doing in the front office, man. Twiddling our fucking dick.
Ryan, I just need you to drink this.
Wide receiver trivia. That's what she said.
Her upset.
Are those crutches?
You can see Ryan's crutches.
What is up, everybody? Welcome back to your favorite show on the internet. This is After Further Review, episode 154. I am your co-host, Jalen Brown.
And well, I'm not going to say wonderful co-host because we got the wonderful co-host in the room right now. So I'm just the other co-host, Malin.
There you go.
And I'm your other great co-host, all the way from sunny Sarasota, although it's a little bit chilly today, Nestor.
Damn, he just skipped Shaq like he.
He leapfrogged.
Your other wonderful co-host, not in
There we
Sarasota,
go.
Shaquille Brown.
I mean, I think he's still in Sarasota though.
Yeah. And joining us as our first half guest once again, June Bug Spade, coming in hot again. Another Wednesday. Appreciate it.
What's up?
Yes, we got a blast from the past. Shaq is joining us this week. Can't be happier. That's how you know we're gonna have a good show. If Shaq is here, we're lined up.
And every other week, he's back for good. Because he knows I'll whoop his ass.
On that note, let's raise a glass on high.
Yeah. Let's
Cheers,
Good.
everybody at home.
Running late.
Oh, look at him with some
That's a
Stella.
Stella.
I'm here with you in spirit.
In spirit, there we go.
Too.
Well, you know we're drinking.
There we go.
Spirit, so that's cool. Oh, God, love me some triple mash.
Tasty.
You know you had to do it. You can't not take one sip of bourbon without.
I gotta get the
You got to process it.
right. Gotta get warmed up.
Good Lord. This man over here.
Anyway, folks, if you listen to our show exclusively and are not aware that we have a live stream every Wednesday night where we broadcast this godforsaken show, we do it 9:30 every Wednesday night. That's Eastern Time, 9:30. So be sure to come give us a watch. And if you click the first link down in your podcast description, you'll be taken directly to the YouTube replay on the Melheim's Media YouTube channel. And you didn't hear it here first. Actually, you did hear it here first. Might be some other shows joining us in the near future. So just letting you guys know. Little teaser.
Well, we just heard it here first, too. So
Right.
That's cool.
It was
And
everybody's
listen,
first.
on a Wednesday night, what else are you going to watch? The WNBA playoffs?
Come on.
You going to watch the Sun and the Lynx?
What are we talking about?
I don't even know where the hell the Sun play. Or the Lynx, actually.
It's a good question.
No idea. All I know
Shaq,
is
where do
Sun-
the Lynx play?
The Sun's whooping the shit out of the Lynx right now.
Minnesota, right?
There we go, Junebug, Minnesota. All right.
There you go. He said right because that made it real convincing that he actually knew too.
Yeah, with that being said, let's get into our recap of week 2 in the NFL. I put week 1 in the rundown. That's not correct. Anyway, week 2 of the NFL. We had some interesting games over the weekend, a bunch of weird ones, especially in the 4 o'clock block. But the night games that we're going to start off with, the Sunday night game with my Patriots still winless after we lost to the Miami Dolphins in dramatic fashion with some, a first down that was not called. What is the biggest reason that New England lost this game? Shaq, let's start with you.
I just firmly still believe in the Dolphins being a powerhouse. Unfortunately, y'all not equipped defensively quite yet to handle the Dolphins, fortunately. So I think that was the biggest downfall, in my opinion.
Did you have something to say, Malin?
Well, I mean, it scored 24 points. It wasn't. I mean, Tua had like 249 yards.
Yeah.
If you want to know the reason why you guys didn't win, you don't have Tom Brady. That's
Well.
with this roster. If you guys had Tom Brady, you probably win this game.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
The defense was playing well. The offense of the Patriots couldn't move the ball. Mac Jones again. He falls to what, 0-4 against Tua.
Yeah.
Two teammates that both won a national title at Alabama, and Tua was 4-0 against him. I heard a crazy stat about Tom Brady. How many years did Tom Brady play?
20 in New England or total?
Just total.
20 something.
20-something. So I think it was 21 years. Tom Brady never took a snap in a game to where when he was mathematically eliminated from the playoffs.
Wow.
In his entire career.
That's nuts.
In his entire career, never mathematically eliminated in playoffs when he started a game and took a snap. That's wild.
Very.
So he's always going to keep me in it. Mac Jones, I think he's playing better than what he did last year. But he doesn't have the Tom Brady factor, in my opinion, to make the people around him better.
Right.
He's in the position to where he needs better people around him so he can play better. And that's not bad. That's not terrible. Like, there's tons of quarterbacks out there that need that. Hell, I think Jalen Hurts is like that. Jalen Hurts played like shit before you stack that man up
Right.
with Deontay Swift and A.J. Brown. He's not terrible, but he's not going to be able to win those games like Tom Brady used to be able to win. And Belichick is 0-2 for the first time since 2001, which they did happen to win the Super Bowl that year. But Mo Lewis ain't out there knocking out Matt Jones and bringing in some backup that's going to lead him to the promised land. So I think it's going to be a little bit of a different of an 0-2.
Yes. I would say so as well. June, what do you think is the biggest reason?
I think one of the reasons is they don't have that go-to guy on offense for Mac Jones. If you look at the top teams around the league, you can actually name the guy that the quarterback is going to go to. You know, you look at San Francisco, they got McCaffrey. Dallas has C.D. Lamb. You know, Philadelphia has, Devontae Adams. So they got to get that guy that they can go to and be consistent for Mac Jones to be successful. If he's the long-term answer, that's another question that you have to ask yourself. Is Mac Jones the long-term answer for this team?
Nestor, being on the winning side?
First of all, I gotta shout out that defense for the Dolphins because
Okay.
Bradley Chubb
Christ.
with the sack early on.
This man.
Then you got Van Ginkel coming in with 2 sacks.
Van who?
That kind of has to be underscored. I don't know. It's a Viking name or some shit like that.
That's
But,
not a Viking name. That's a Oompa Loompa name.
impressive.
That's what are we?
impressive. He looks like a goddamn Viking. Very impressive defense.
HBO does a
It
show
boils
on
down to that
Vikings.
roster that it could be more talented. It could, they could put better guys around Mac Jones. And that's gonna present itself, I think, in many ways each game in different ways. So like specifically this game, I think it was the O-line. Like you guys could not protect Mac Jones, in my opinion. Like, and in contrast, our O-line, they made space for like Mostert. We saw Mostert go for like 45 something yard run touchdown.
Beautiful
So,
specimen of a man.
yeah, I know you were happy. Tua was great in the pocket. He was under that pressure. We saw it against the Chargers again in this game. He was good, not as well as he did with the Chargers, but he was still pretty good. But yeah, man, this game specifically, I saw Mac Jones not have a lot of time to find some wide receivers, and he had like a good scramble at one point, and threw the ball to I think I forgot who he threw the ball to, but it was a touchdown. But yeah, you gotta get better guys around this guy because I don't want to put all the blame on Mac Jones or pin the majority of it at least. He just needs better guys around him.
Well, can I ask a question? Why did the Patriots sign Zeke Elliott if they're going to run him 5 times?
That's what we do.
That's a good question.
Stuff that's weird. Just
Like-
weird stuff.
Ramondre Stevenson was your leading rusher.
Yeah.
15 times.
Yep.
Who?
Long. Yeah, I know. It sounds like somebody out of the fucking Black Panther movie, to be honest with you. Like, Ramondre Stevenson, 15 carries for 50 yards. Like, it's not like he was doing a whole lot, but you ran Zeke 5 times.
Yeah.
Like, did y'all just sign him for a photo shoot? Is that what he doing?
And in the first game, he played really well. He had every time he touched the ball, he had a really nice run. And this time around, one of those weird things where it's like
he just eat too much soup.
Maybe you see him one week, and then I guarantee you he'll disappear for a couple of weeks, and then he'll pop back up for a big game. That's just how we play dudes. I don't understand it, but
that's weird. I mean, literally, like you guys got Zeke, Devontae Parker, and Gesicki.
Yeah,
those three, like those
Right.
aren't 3 bad people.
right. Those are 3 good offensive.
You got Juju too, right? They
We
got Juju.
We've got you.
They got Juju.
We still got him.
Yeah, they got Juju. God, I hate looking at myself in the goddamn. This is why I wear a hat. I look like fucking Megamind out here with my goddamn forehead. But they got Juju. Like it's not that bad of an offensive roster.
Right. It's not terrible.
All right, so what are they doing?
My biggest reason it's got to be the turnovers. We don't have a talented enough offense to make up for lost possessions. Like, if you lose a turnover battle in NFL, you're probably going to lose that game, just generally speaking. If you lose a turnover battle to a really good offense, which Miami arguably has the best in the NFL, you're definitely going to lose.
Okay,
It's not 50.
24 points. Let's stop with the best.
I would like to think so, but
Okay, you got mushy head Tua and everybody else. What do we?
I mean, he looks pretty good right now, but yeah, if we lose the turnover battle, like we're done. So the boneheaded mistakes that we make are just killer mistakes because we cannot score fast enough to keep up with even just 24 points. Like, it wasn't like they just blew us out the water after that. We just couldn't even come up with that last drive to win the game. Yeah, the turnovers, Mac Jones threw a pick. One was a fumble. But like, Mac Jones cannot throw a pick every game. It just cannot happen.
One more question for you. What is it about this team that ends up making some kind of a comeback in the fourth quarter, but they can't pull it out? Like, they play close.
Right.
Like, and they're losing 3 quarters, and all of a sudden it's like
Right.
Mac Jones flips a switch, or Bill O'Brien is calling a masseuse for Deshaun Watson. I don't know what the hell is going on. But then all of a sudden they like do this furious comeback, like, and all of a sudden it's a game with 5 minutes left.
Right.
Ain't been a game for 3.5
Just
quarters. 5 minutes left. All of a sudden it's a goddamn game.
Yeah. I have not figured that one out yet because it's only been 2 weeks, so we'll see. But it's like, why didn't you guys do this 2 quarters ago? Because if we played like this for the majority of the game, probably would win. It's the same case in the Philly game and Miami game, but I don't know. It's just weird. Just weird people. A group of weird people. That's all I can possibly describe it as.
I tell you what, if you put Russell Wilson and Matt Jones together, they'd be fucking undefeated. Because Russell Wilson can play a first half of football right now.
Right.
Matt Jones can play a second half of football.
segue. So instead of going to the Giants, let's go to the Broncos next because I mean, that was just perfect. We'll go right into that. So the Broncos fall to the Commanders 35-33 in dramatic fashion. Shaq, we'll go back to you to start things off again. What is the biggest single reason that Denver, or single thing that Denver needs to fix to start winning some games here?
Play consistently and stop playing these half-ass games, and maybe they can actually start winning something. They paid this man way too much money. He's still coming out here another season and losing. They need 4 consistent quarters of football, in my opinion. They give you these half-ass quarters, half-ass games, and they always come out with the L. So consistency is key.
You think that is just at the quarterback position, or you think it's the whole team is responsible?
Just the whole team in general. Just, things don't just seem to translate 4 quarters of football the way you want them to. It's the whole entire team. I can't split it on one single person in this case. It's just me and the team.
Oh, I can.
Go ahead, Malin.
Are you sure you don't want anybody else to go first?
Oh, go ahead.
Okay. No, what you really need between these people, you need Sean Payton to want Russell Wilson to be his quarterback. And by all intents and purposes, it does not seem like he wants Russell Wilson as quarterback.
Right.
All he does is pull his pants down and take a giant dump on Russell Wilson every press conference.
It's a good visual
that they have. Like this last time, it was Russell Wilson isn't getting out of the huddle quick enough. We got to be faster than that.
Yep. Yeah.
Now he did have a really good first half. The problem to me is somewhat coaching. Because why is it for 2 straight games you're able to play a good first half? And I hate the fact that this team has me defending Russell Wilson right now. This is pissing me off. You play a good half of football 2 straight games, but you play a shitty half of football the second half. That's not player. That's scheming and coaching. You go into halftime, you make adjustments. So they play damn near perfect the first half. Against Washington. Played like shit the second half. Like, now I know Russell Wilson had 308 yards passing and 3 touchdowns, but that was a Hail Mary where everybody was playing hot potato and passing it around like to 8 different people before somebody decided, you know what, I want to catch this bitch. And he was still running for his life, even in the 2-point conversion. Like, he was always running for his goddamn life. Yeah. So, like, how does a player play great in the first half and bad in the second half? Coaching. You're not adjusting. Sean Payton is running this like some sort of dictatorial jackass, and it's his way or the highway, and he doesn't have Drew Brees. He was nothing before Drew Brees. He's going to be nothing after Drew Brees if he doesn't understand how to coach the people he has. Pete Carroll got the best out of Russell Wilson because he knew how to coach him. Went to the playoffs 9 out of 10 years because he knew how to coach Russell Wilson. He's a different kind of player. He's older now. Maybe he's not going to be able to scramble as much, but he still has something in the tank. I hate, again, have me defending this little midget ass. But to me, it's scheming. You got to be able to protect him and keep him from making those bad decisions that he's prone to do, trying to play the hero ball. Yeah. So if you're playing good in the first half for 2 straight games, but you're playing like crap in the second half, that's not the player. That's the coaching. That's the scheming. That's the offensive coordinator. That's the head coach. And stop throwing your best players under the goddamn bus. They're so freaking dysfunctional. So I don't think Russell Wilson's going to be there next year. Ooh. He's going to be the scapegoat. They're going to let him go, and Sean Payton's going to want somebody else because he clearly does not believe that Russell Wilson can run his offense the way he wants it to. Yeah. That's just been made clear. Even just in training camp and 2 weeks of football. Mm-hmm. He don't trust him. He don't like him. He don't want him.
June, I'm going to go to you next. What do you think is the biggest single thing?
I agree with everything Malin said, but I also want to jump on to the defense of the Denver Broncos. their defense was actually very good last year, even though they didn't win a lot of games. They still had a pretty decent defense. And it seems like their defense has fell off. I mean, the Washington Commanders are not that good. That if they get down that many points, that's a team that's not supposed to be able to come back against your defense.
Right.
So Sean Payton and his defensive coordinator has got to get on the same page if they want this team to be successful. And I agree. It's all about coaching at this point with the Denver Broncos. Russell Wilson can play. This man led a team to 2 Super Bowls. And if his idiot coach had called the right play, they would have had 2 Super Bowl wins.
Son of a.
But it's coaching. Sean Payton, the defensive coach, got to sit down this week and they got to talk about it because they got to go to Miami this week. And if their defense is not up to snuff, Miami's going to hang 40 on them with ease. So, yeah.
Joe Mug, this is 2 weeks in a row where you talk shit about Pete Carroll. Can I remind you, we're going on 29 years from the Cowboys even making the NFC Championship game.
They'll be back this year.
And your head coach is who? Mike McCarthy? I think we beat him in the NFC Championship game.
Okay, that's
Think
fine.
that happened?
That's fine. That's 100% fine.
Damn. Just coming at me 2 weeks in a row with Pete
I
Carroll
didn't
with the
come at
dumbass.
you. I came at, hey.
You come at my coach, you come at me.
Hey, I go back to Pete Carroll when he made that bonehead call. versus
Again,
the
with
University of Texas.
God.
That's still
always
that is the first indication of what Pete Carroll does in late games right there. Was that University of Texas National Championship. Why do you give Vince Young 50 yards to beat you instead of 80? I mean, he probably was going to do it anyway, but why even do it? I mean, but go ahead. I'm done.
I mean, it doesn't sound like you're done. Want to go ahead and dig the knife in a little bit deeper. If you got anything else you want to get off your chest?
He hit you with the prequel too. He said,
Yeah, hit me with the USC shit. Like I gave a shit about Reggie Bush, LaDainian White, and goddamn Matt Leinart. First of all, you should give Reggie Bush his Heisman back. That's some bullshit. Yeah. We got all this NIL shit. Reggie Bush can't get a Heisman back because of $300,000.
Never getting that thing back.
Ah, he should have. He's suing him.
Hey.
He's suing them.
G Money says, Junebug, keep my coach's name out your mouth.
Goddamn right. You got Mike McCarthy. Yeah, Jason Garrett, Wade Phillips. Wade Phillips was your head coach. I think Pete Carroll deserves some respect.
Oh no, I got respect for Pete Carroll.
Outside of that one play call at the 2-yard line.
Let's not get too. Let's reel this back in. We're still talking about the Broncos here and possibly the Commanders. I love how nobody's mentioned the Commanders.
Okay, listen, they played well.
Yeah.
Howell, man, he had like 108 passer rating. Almost 300 yards passing, a couple touchdowns, no interceptions.
He was flinging it, man.
Brian Robinson does nothing but get shot and score touchdowns. Man, balling. Had a great run, man.
Nestor, what was your biggest thing?
Yeah, same thing. Coaching. Probably the mindset drops because when you feel the other team coming back, because in the when Russell threw to Mims, how many yards was that? Like 60 yards or something. It was just crazy. And when they were up 21-3, it was just like, man, they're gonna destroy this team. Yeah. And then you saw, give credit to Washington. Sam Howell was playing good. He was throwing some dimes. That defense had a pick. They were making Russell scramble, although Russell was doing pretty good in my opinion. Brian Robinson Jr., a beast. I'm a little disappointed that they can't get my man Antonio Gibson more work.
Yeah, you should
have known. This man is a ghost on my roster. But
the NFL?
yeah, but the mindset needs to change. I'm honestly I'm a little worried
About tired.
about this week against Miami
No, you're
because
not.
I saw some things that
No, you're
make me
not.
worry a little bit.
There's
Some
nothing
things
about
that
this
we
team.
do wrong that I know the Denver Broncos do very well, and I don't know. I'm a little worried, but yeah, the mindset and the coaching needs
What is this?
improvement.
What is this, like Nickelodeon midget ball going on here? We do. Is it Denver
We're gonna
versus
be on Disney
Miami?
Plus this Sunday.
Is it Denver versus Miami? Is that what he's talking about?
Yeah.
You got one 5 foot nothing versus another 5 foot nothing. You got Funko dolls taller than these people.
To me, I really think to fix Denver's problem, it's not just Russ, it's not just the coach. I really feel like they just need to get on the same page because clearly there's a rift between those two where they're just not seeing things the same because it just seems pretty clear in the way that the offense runs at times. So that whole second half is just dysfunctional. And then, as you say, like how Sean Payton talks, it's just like, that is your quarterback. Like you don't have to just keep
time he talks.
dragging his name through the mud.
Doing more than that.
It's pretty bad. So I mean that they do need to fix, but I will say in Washington's credit, they did a fantastic job just completely doing a 180. I don't know what was said in that locker room at halftime, but somebody talked some sense into them, and that defensive line was getting after Russ every single time he snapped the ball. They were on his ass. So golf clap to the defense for them. And Sam Howell, he just looked like he had been there 100 times before. He came out slinging it and he was ready to rumble. So props to the Commanders.
Ron Rivera was like, if you guys don't win this game, we're start calling ourselves Redskins again. We get this shit going.
Washington Power Rangers.
Did that Hail Mary piss anybody else off but me?
Yeah.
I was so goddamn happy with what was happening in that game. And then when I saw that bullshit, I was like, if they get this 2-point conversion, I'm going to be pissed. I was so fucking happy up until that point. I was like, how many hands? How many hands have to touch this shit?
Yeah, that was crazy.
Pissed me off.
Moving on to the last game in the recap, another comeback that was going on at the same time. The Giants coming back against the Cardinals to win 31-28. And yeah, this was Daniel Jones getting the job done. And in the TD, he said what he said. Daniel Jones MVP this year. Shaq.
Stop it.
What is...
Stop it.
Are the Giants a legit threat in the NFC?
You trying to make me more mad.
I mean, are they a legit threat? Yes, but this would be the team that this happens to. Because to be honest, I stopped watching this game after a certain point. I was like, all right, Cardinals, just show up, be on the field. Then I clicked back onto it. I was like, hey, what are y'all doing? Why are y'all falling apart at the seams? Then this team looked like God's team. I do give them a lot of credit, though. They showed up. They did what they're supposed to do. They should have done it a little bit earlier, not make it a big old spectacle. But only the Cardinals will make this look like that.
Amen. Malin, you can go ahead.
MVP.
Don't make me step outside and slap you in the face, Shaq. Because I know I'll still hit you. Oh, no. Like, can we... It's the Cardinals. I mean, come on.
Pulling up the numbers here.
What numbers you want to talk about?
Who do the Cardinals have again?
They got Joshua Dobbs and James Conner. James Conner dodges cancer better than he does tackles. I know he had 106 yards and 4-point-something yards a carry. So that's great. He's probably on his deathbed at Tampa General right now. But Joshua Dobbs, really, we're talking about Joshua Dobbs. Man barely threw for over 200 yards. No,
right.
Like Daniel Jones. I mean, Saquon Barkley goes out with with an ankle injury because that's what Saquon Barkley does best. Yet they want to bitch about the fact on why these running backs can't get more money. Let's go ahead and talk about it between Barkley and Chubb and all these people going out here and getting fucking hurt. Yes, Daniel Jones played well against the Cardinals. How good is that defense compared to the Cowboys? What did he do against Cowboys?
Not much of anything.
Okay, so TD can calm down. Coming up here with this envy. I told y'all he is who he is. No, he is who he is against a bottom 3 team in the NFL. Okay, like let's stop. Okay, like the man literally averages like 70 yards less a game without Saquon Barkley.
Right.
His completion percentage goes down 8 points. Like, no, he's not. Come on. It's the Cardinals. What are we doing?
June.
No, the Giants are not a contender. They're not a threat in the NFC. They got a lot of problems, and we saw it the first game of the season. The first game of the season, if you're a contender and you're a threat, you don't lose 40 to nothing. You know, you lose 28-25.
Preach.
You know, you lose like that. But to come in and get down by that much to the Cardinals, who are playing with all backups, they lost their best player. Buda Baker is gone now for the season. You know, he went out in that, you know. So it comes down to Daniel Jones. We're going to see what he's going to be about this week because it doesn't look like Saquon Barkley is going to play.
Right.
And they got San Francisco coming up. And that's on Thursday night. And if he doesn't have Saquon Barkley to even protect him, and I don't think it'll make a difference anyway. San Francisco is going to be all over him the entire match. The entire match, that's all you're going to see is Daniel Jones running for his life. That's
what the hell is R2D2 doing?
That's all you're going to see. And for the Giants, this stretch of games for them could probably put them out of playoff contention.
No, all I'm saying, they're playing San Francisco. Okay, T better be just as he better be just as hype in the chat. Just as hype.
We'll see what happens.
Coming at me. Apparently,
we won't be hearing.
Apparently, you're the only real one. I read the chat. You better be just as hype after Bosa tears Jones a new ass after this week.
Nestor, tell us
All
why
the way.
the Giants are a threat in the NFC.
They are a threat only because they got the future MVP on their team. That's the only reason they're kind of a threat.
I'm about to drive down to
like,
Sarasota.
He just went off on the Cardinals. He just, it's like a switch.
When
When he rushed for that touchdown, how he was just so accurate. It was night and day versus the Cowboys. This is the MVP, Daniel Jones.
It was one half of football, people.
So
one half of goddamn football. You don't get that down to the Cardinals by playing great football. To the fucking Cardinals. Yep.
just saying, don't sleep on Daniel Jones. Future
Sleep on him.
Well.
Bitch, I'll get a sleeping bag and bury his ass and sleep on top of it. That's what I'll do with his MVP hopes.
Sorry, I'm just going back.
He didn't talk to Shaq yet, I don't think.
No, he did. He said that he thought that they are a threat. You just erased it from your mind because you thought it was so blasphemous.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I told him I'd go outside and slap him.
Right, yeah, that was that.
Don't make me do it, Shaq. All y'all just disrespectful. That's what it is. Everybody trying
Now-
to rile me up.
I went back in the chat to see exactly what was said. I would like to give TD some credit, saying that I stay unbiased. Thank you very much. But he also did say that you may not think he will win MVP, but you let him make his bed You let him make his bed, and I respect that. And I don't know. Seems like there's a typo in there.
Yeah. I would just like to remind everybody, I'm the only dumbass that actually drafted him in the fantasy football league. So
Irony.
TD can say whatever the hell he want. I get to be mad after that first week shellacking and what's going to happen in week 3. Because it's not going to be pretty because you ain't playing the Cardinals defense.
Let me just take you guys through. Are they a threat? Quick answer, no. Let me just take you guys through their schedule here. They've got the 49ers tomorrow. They've got Seattle the week after
Speaking
that.
truth.
They've got Miami the following week, and they have Buffalo the week after that. So the Giants are about to get boat raced for about a month straight.
Well, I will tell you this. Seattle will beat the Giants, but we'll probably make Daniel Jones look like an all-pro. Our
Vanilla
defense,
Vic out there?
Our defense does this to people. In fact, we play Carolina this Sunday, and it kind of sounds like Bryce Young ain't going to play, so the Amish rifle going to be out there slinging the rock.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he did nothing but toss for about like 370 yards and 3 touchdowns on our defense last year when he played for the Saints. So it's not going to be pretty, but we're still going to get the fucking job done. We let Jared Goff go like 17 for 17 and still somehow had the lead at the end of the third quarter. I don't know how the fuck we did that. But so he's going to look like an all-pro against Seahawks.
Well, there you go.
But
they can add to his MVP race right there.
But I'm still right. TD's still wrong. Yeah, kiss my ass.
G Money says the 49ers defense is going to be all over Daniel Jones like drunken Marines on a $5
Pack of crayons. No, that's not what it. That's not what it was. What is it?
Slightly different.
Like drunken Marines on a $5 hooker.
Right.
Okay.
So that's where we're at.
I guess hooker could be also spelled crayons. I don't know.
Yeah, that will do it for the recap. It was a kind of a weird week, but week 2.
Weird week. It's more than a weird week.
Yeah, it's been a weird season so far.
2 weeks in, everything's upside down.
Right.
We're about to talk about it.
Yes, let's get into the next segment here. The best winless team and the worst undefeated team is the next segment here. So, it's only been 2 weeks, but there are already some small streaks being made here. So we're going to all put in for who we think first is the best winless team. We'll keep the same order. Shaq, so far, after 2 games and no wins, which team do you think is the best?
Best winless team, I still have to stick by the. Sounds bad as me as a Steelers fan, but I think the Bengals are still the best winless team right now. It just sucks because they're really not proving the money. They just blew on homeboy right now, but they still got it in them to come back and blow out the rest of the season and still come back at the top of this division, of course. It just, straighten things out. A little bit of rust on it, but I think they're still the best winless team right now.
They better get it together before Baltimore and Pittsburgh runs off with the division, though. I'll tell you that much.
That's all I'm saying.
Malin.
Shaq is like, Najee Harris, baby. I got to go with the Bengals, too. The crazy thing to me is that you got Justin Herbert and Joe Burrow, 1 and 2, making the most money in the NFL quarterbacks. Teams are 0 and 2. That's just wild to me.
Yeah.
Stacked on offense.
Oh, yes.
All of them. Like they got running backs, they got wide receivers, they got names. You go Minnesota. with Kirk Cousins, Justin Jefferson, and them. Now they like to turn the ball over a lot. They really love to give the ball over to the other team. They're like, please have it. We won't even make you pay postage. Just take the ball. I think they got 7 or 8 turnovers in 2 games. They're trying to set a record. But I just think the amount of talent plus the consistency of the coaching. The reason why I can't go Chargers is because I still think Staley, that's the name of the Chargers coach, right? He's still a dumbass. He's not smart, so I can't really have any faith that they're going to do anything worthwhile because he fell down, ate paint chips, hit his head. I don't know. Tried to have sex with his sister. I don't give a shit. So it's got to be the Bengals. How does Higgins have 0 targets week 1? Yeah. What are we doing? Like, something's not right with Joe Burrow right now. Mm-hmm. But they're still the most talented team. They just got to get it figured out.
Yeah.
And they started 0-2 last year.
Right. I'm just going to echo because I'm also the Bengals. Like you just said, they started 0-2 last year. And I think we asked the same exact question last year. And the Bengals was my answer last year. They'll figure it out. If there's a team that I'm very confident in amongst all these teams, it's the Bengals. For whatever reason, it's what they do. Maybe it's just part of their preseason or training camp, whatever they do there. Maybe they just need to work on that so they don't come out to such a slow start. But I have confidence they'll figure it out. They have all the pieces to do it. Like you said, the Chargers, they will also figure it out, but not as strongly as Cincinnati will because of their head coach. They'll still lose some just boneheaded games. That's what they'll do. They're still the Chargers. So, yeah, I'll take Cincinnati. But
you know what concerns me a little bit? After 2 games, they're tied for the least amount of points scored in the AFC.
Wow.
With the Raiders.
Yikes.
27 points.
Damn.
It's not good.
Yeah. Not good at all.
It's not good company.
June.
Yeah, I'm echoing everybody. It's Cincinnati. I know that Joe Burrow's still suffering a little bit with the calf thing. But you look at all the other 0-2 teams, they just don't have the talent and the coaching that Cincinnati does to be able to dig themselves out of a hole like this. So I got all the faith in the world that when it comes down to the end of it, Cincinnati will be there. So that's my show.
Nestor, tell us why the Vikings are the best 0-2 team right now.
I would, but no, I think it's the Bengals.
He said I would.
Chargers
Doesn't
definitely
wanna lie.
no, because the Chargers, I think they're allowing the most. The team with the weakest pass defense, like passing defense, they're just terrible. They got lit up by my Dolphins. They're gonna continue to get lit up by other teams. They just look terrible. This guy named, I think his name is J.C. Jackson or something like that.
Yeah.
He just makes the most boneheaded mistakes, and plus the head coach.
Former Patriot, by
They
the
are
way.
getting lit up on that defense. If you just watch them, they look lost completely. So they're gonna continue to carry this problem. Probably gonna go 0-3. So definitely the Bengals. They got the more talent, way more talent.
I would also just like to point out that they are actually tied for the least amount of points in the entire NFL. You could add the Carolina Panthers. So they're tied. 3-way tie.
That's pretty bad.
That is bad.
That dude's never played quarterback before.
Bro, you better get your shit together. It's not good company. There's a lot of people that drafted him, Chase, and Higgins that are pissed.
Yeah, there's some very upset people right now. In fact, now that you say that, my work league's a money league, and the person that has Burrow and Chase is winless in our fantasy league.
Oh.
And the GM of the league was like, everybody still putting money in? I understand that if so-and-so does not want to put their money in, I get it.
I mean, I'll just say this: I have Lawrence and Ridley in one of my money leagues, and they didn't do shit against Kansas City. Nick Wright calls him the Prince of fucking darkness. What are we doing? Come on, sunshine.
They'll figure it out.
So nobody wants to make a case for the Broncos, huh? Nobody.
That's doomed.
Nobody wants to do that. Okay. I just want to make sure.
Let's get into the undefeated teams, though. So, still got a bunch of undefeated teams. Out of all of them, though, which one, Shaq, do you think is built on the biggest house of cards here?
I'm gonna have to go with the wonderful Falcons. Somehow they're undefeated, and I think it's just bullshit that they're undefeated. Granted, one of the wins they have is against the only team in the division that isn't undefeated right now, the Panthers. And so I don't know if that really counts. If I'm
The only
saying,
teammate won a
I just not
game.
realizing. Where are you going back to, Mila?
Oh, it's going back to me now?
Yeah.
Oh no, I was just saying, yeah. Ironically enough, their whole Falcons, Saints, and the Bucks are all undefeated too, which is funny as hell to me. But I'm still stick to
The
Falcons.
Saints are undefeated?
Yes.
Oh, that's right. They are.
It actually
Jesus.
depresses me a little bit. That we all said that the NFC South was going to be the
Yeah.
worst division this year,
Yeah.
yet 3 of them were undefeated.
A little bit of egg on my head right now.
Okay, you want to know what's crazy though? The NFC, right? Okay. Tell me why there are 7 undefeated teams in the NFC and only 2 in the AFC.
Yep.
You got the Dolphins and the Baltimore Ravens that are only undefeated teams.
Yep.
Both weak as shit. But I'm just kidding. I'm kidding, Nestor. Don't get upset. Don't get upset. I'm not about to talk about your team like Junebug does Pete Carroll. Mine is still going to be the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Come on.
No, because do you really believe
Tampa
in
Bay.
Baker Ball? Do you really think it's going to last?
This Monday? No. After that, we'll see.
But I'm saying that, okay, so the reason why I'm not going to say it's the Falcons right now, okay, is that Bijan Robinson is a beast. And he is the real deal. And he is going to take pressure off of their quarterback. And that man threw for, hold on, do we even know how much he threw for?
Ritter.
Yeah, Ritter had a freaking game. Let's see here. Okay, so Ritter threw he threw for 237 yards, 19 to 32, touchdown, interception. Drake London 6 or 7 yards, touchdown. But Bijan Robinson 19 carries, 142 yards. Like he is going to be the catalyst for that team. He's going to be the same reason why the Giants were a playoff team last year. He can be the reason why I'm not saying playoffs, but he's going to be the reason why the Falcons are going to rack up some wins as long as he stays healthy. You have one of the better young running backs in the league that can take pressure off, and that defense isn't bad. I mean, Jordan Love looked great week 1. He looked rather pedestrian last week. So I'm not a believer in Baker Mayfield. That's my biggest thing. The Chicago Bears. Justin Fields is one of the 2 worst quarterbacks in the NFL. It's not working out. Okay? I don't want to hear about if he was at another team, they would develop him more. There's not an Ohio State quarterback that's done anything. Okay?
You're not wrong.
And, I swear to, listen, I'm not trying to ruffle some feathers, but I'm just saying that if Justin Fields was as white as Carson Wentz right now, they'd be like, nah, you're benched. But all the media is like, nah, man, Fields is a great athlete. He's all this. No, he's not a good quarterback. He's not. So that's who the Bucks beat. Justin Fields standing on the 3-yard line inside the end zone threw a pass to the entire Buccaneers defense.
It's pretty bad.
You couldn't even tell who caught the ball. It was just all 8 of them. Every D lineman and linebacker running into the end zone. One of them caught it. You just didn't know which one.
Yeah.
So come on, the Bucks.
You're
going with the Bucks.
I did take the Bucks.
You sick son of a.
The Falcons have more optimism on their roster, like with the younger talent that they do have. But their coaching, I just don't believe. Arthur Smith, give me a break. That dude, I don't know. Like him and like Brandon Staley, I put him in the same kind of just like, if you want to blow something good, take one of those two guys to do it for you. I don't know. The Falcons are just, we'll see, if they can keep this up. I have no doubt in the talent that they have. It's more so the coaching that's coaching up that talent. The Bucks, at least there's, Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Baker Mayfield, all those guys, they've been around for a while. I feel like they have the experience, the know-how. The coaching staff also has the experience to maybe just get a couple more games better than the Falcons. I'm not saying either one of these teams are playoff bound, but I feel like, if the Falcons finish with 8 wins, the Bucks might finish with 9 or, whatever it is.
So you think this Bucks roster
Yeah.
is going to win more games with Baker Mayfield this year than they did with Tom Brady last year?
I don't know what the number is going to be. I have no idea.
Well, you
I
just
think
said
it'll
maybe
be more
9. The
than
Bucks
Falcons.
were 8-9 last year.
It's just an example.
Okay, I'm just saying that the Bucks were 8-9 with Tom Brady.
5. If the Falcons win 4, the Bucks will win 5. Whatever the number.
You went from 8-9 to 4-5 real quick.
The number does not
All
matter.
I'm saying. It does matter. We're talking about the best 0-2 team. Or best
Right.
2-0
I'm just
team.
saying that they'll be better
Most
than the
fraudulent.
Falcons by the end of the year. That's all that I think with them. But
I think the Falcons are going to be better.
we'll see.
I think you need to get off this Bucks train. It's making me want to fucking vomit.
Listen, if they somehow, they won't, but if they beat the Eagles on Monday, city's going to burn down. We're all dead.
Christ. If they beat the Eagles on Monday night, I'm calling Biden and tell him to push the red button. Just push it and send it down.
He might push something else. And it'll go to a different city.
Well, he won't remember what I said once he hangs up the phone. But just push the button and send the nuke. Because I don't want to live here anymore if they actually beat the Eagles.
It'll be awful.
I don't want to do it. I don't want to be in a life where the Bucks are 3-0 and beating the Eagles. I don't want that life.
We'll never hear the end of it.
It's not good, man. It's already bad enough with the Rays. The Rays are staying. They're getting the stadium.
Yeah, right.
In St. Pete, which makes no fucking sense because that's the problem with the first stadium.
Right.
But
Here we are.
God.
June.
Probably the Commanders.
Yes, some of it makes sense.
You look at the Commanders and they played, they got down to the Cardinals, they had to come back. But it's the Cardinals. Then they got down to Denver, and I'd put them and Denver on the same level, but they got down to them and they had to come back. The next 2 weeks you got the Bills and then you got the Eagles.
God.
And so I think the reality going to slap them in the face the next 2 weeks. Ron Rivera and
Poor Sam Howell.
games like this, he just can't coach. And with a young team and, the pieces of your team are just not there yet. And with a new owner probably really looking to rebuild. Yeah, they're not going further than, I think I had them listed at about 6-11 this year. I think that's all for the Commanders. So this 2-0 start was just a phenomenon, and that's it.
Real
It's
quick,
over now.
I think the Commanders are going to beat either the Bills or the Eagles. Putting it out there, one of those teams are going to beat them.
I would just like to point out that Junebug equated the Cardinals and the Broncos is the same. Yet the Giants had to take a whole second half to beat them. But Daniel Jones can possibly win the MVP. That's where we're at.
Why are the Giants going to be under our microscope for the rest of the year?
Because somebody's an MVP candidate. And I fucking drafted him based off of that analysis. And I'm goddamn angry. And people keep fucking defending it.
Well, I got 3 quarterbacks on fantasy.
You got half the goddamn NFL on your fantasy team when it comes to quarterbacks. And you started the wrong one last week. You should have started
I
Geno.
love how he has that, and yet Pickett is sitting right up there with the
Geno.
most projected points. week after week.
Geno whooped some ass last week.
Every week, whatever quarterback I bench ends up outdoing the one that I started.
Listen, I don't know why you're not riding with Geno. Like, he didn't ride you straight to the championship last year. I don't know what else he has to do to prove anything to you. You rode him straight to the chip last
Be your
year.
ride or die right
Now all of a sudden you're benching his ass for Little Piggy Pickett.
Terrible choice
Not
of words.
Pickett, no, Tua. For paper mache Tua.
drafted
That's who you benching him for. Paper mache
Y'all
Tua.
judged me when I drafted it. Y'all like Gino. I'm like, all right, y'all. Relax.
Right. Tua's like a
Not
damn helium balloon.
This is
It's like the Hindenburg. That shit gonna crash.
We never got Nestor's worst undefeated team. That's what we're left with.
Oh, go ahead. Say something
Okay,
stupid.
So I wouldn't say the Falcons because although they have Arthur Smith, they have decent talent. They got
Smart.
Drake London, they have Kyle Pitts, B. John Robinson, and
You
their
can't-
passing defense is pretty damn
You
good.
can't say Kyle Pitts. They
So
don't
it's
use
not
Kyle
them.
Pitts.
Exactly.
Washington has Scary Terry. They got Sam Howell doing pretty good. They got Brian Robinson. You're gonna see a lot better games from them. I feel. I think it's the Saints. And I'm okay with being wrong with that at the end of the season. I'm okay with being wrong, but I think it's the Saints. I think Derek Carr is very mediocre. I think, apart from a couple decent wide receivers, they don't have anything else going on. And if you look at the Panthers game, you kind of see that. Their so-called great defense, I don't know. I mean, it's okay. It's good. It's what's holding them together. But I mean, look at their first 2 wins. Nothing impressive there. So I think it's definitely the Saints.
I have no
agree.
qualms with that answer.
Yeah, no.
I agree. I agree 100%.
Oh, okay. We're gonna act like Derek Carr isn't better than Ritter or Baker Mayfield right now in the NFC South.
I can't tell.
He's not.
I can't tell.
He's not. No.
No.
Okay, which one of those 3 is better than Derek Carr right now? Which one? Do not say Baker Mayfield.
Baker Mayfield.
The man's on his 4th team in like 18 months. Stop it.
I'm not saying that.
Stop
But right now, all 3 of their teams have the same amount of wins,
Stop it.
playing around the same level right now.
Oh my God. Yeah, they might as well all be in a circle doing a little circle jerk, I guess. But at the end of the day, Derek Carr is the alpha compared to those 3. What are we? Seriously, people?
He's the elder statesman. That's about it.
He's the...
Exactly.
Okay.
We need to go to a break. That's
I
what
thought
we need to
I
do.
thought I was on the show with professionals.
That's where you fucked up. Number 1 right there.
What are we doing where Derek Carr is not the best quarterback in the NFC South?
Nah, I'm just saying, after 2 games, I can't tell.
Mother.
They beat Tennessee by 1 and the Panthers by 3.
Yeah.
They're not impressive.
Okay, and who did the Bucks beat?
Justin Fields,
Vikings.
Ohio State's finest, and the Vikings,
Yeah.
Michigan State's
And nobody likes Kirk Cousins. They turned it over like 3 or 4 times, and Justin Fields.
The Vikings have the best receiver in the NFL.
With a quarterback that can't get him the fucking ball. Like, we're literally talking like Baker Mayfield's out here beating world beaters. Like, he just beat the Eagles.
He beat the Panthers and the Titans.
By one.
Hey, have the Titans at least won a game?
Yes.
Have they? I don't know.
Okay. I'm pretty sure that both teams the Bucks have beat are 0 for 2 right now. Both of them.
All right.
Both of them. Vikings ain't done shit. Neither of the Bears. Bears ain't going to do shit. Bears walked out there 0-2 before they started the game wearing them orange jerseys and helmets. All right? Let's stop it. Like Baker. God.
On Monday night, was anybody still watching that Saints game once the second game started? Nobody on earth is watching that game. They might as well have ended the broadcast.
Nobody was watching the Bucks game while it was being played live.
Yeah, they were watching that game.
Who?
It was a good game.
Who? No, it wasn't. That's because you played later on that night and that's all you had. Stop it.
Nonetheless, I'm still watching that game.
Tell us another way how you don't have NFL Red Zone if you're trying to tell me you watch the Bucks playing at 1:00.
That game was on my computer, sir. On the other screen.
Good Lord. The Bears and the Bucks. Y'all just trying to make you guys are in cahoots. You guys did this on purpose. Shaq, you're somehow the mastermind. I know he is. You guys are.
What gives you that idea?
You guys are trying to get under my. Well, look, he's the brain of the whole operation. The only one that would look like he got one. What are we?
We're going to go to a break. If Junebug wants to hang around for the second half,
go ahead,
welcome.
Junebug.
If he has more important things to do, which he probably does, then you guys will know where to find him next week. And his TikTok is down in the description below, so be sure to follow him. We'll be back in about 10 minutes.
Hey. Yeah. Hey. On my way to the boat like I ain't just had on a coat when I landed. Outbranded. Perched at the edge of the branches. They don't wanna talk mansions. Mine look like a campus. And I'm all about my brothers like the niggas I'm sampling. I'll leave you red shirted like the twins from Kansas. Really living my dreams I used to have in my aunt's crib.
This is the first time the Heat have made the finals since LeBron left.
Jesus Christ.
True.
What the fuck?
Nobody wants to guess.
Is it Kyle Lowry?
If Kyle Lowry's number
Do I get the point?
Yeah, I'll give you the point.
I guess two of them. Do I not get points for that shit too? Can I just make a complaint?
How many times have these two teams played each other in the regular season?
Once.
Is incorrect.
No.
Three.
Twice.
You already guessed. What was your guess? 3. That is incorrect.
Twice.
2.
G-Money, any guesses?
I already said it.
We don't know if that's correct.
Well, I mean,
it is correct.
G-Money, try 5.
Why this man have the most amount of points to complain about?
How is it taking that fucking long?
You missed the first question because you answered too fast. Not thinking.
He's stupid.
That's pretty hurtful.
First of all, this is the last time we're ever doing trivia. I don't give a damn what happens.
Hey. Yeah. Trendsetter, band frame getter, with whatever. I buy diamonds when I'm under pressure. When I apply, shit don't ever let up. Yeah. Look, I'm in the cut, the boy in the cut. Jump in the whip with a ceiling go up, we up. All of this grinding for what? It's funny when you niggas thought it was luck.
So who is that? All right, it's Lance Spider Mitchell. You gotta put on the top. Oh, that's somebody good. Ooh, Steph Curry. Okay. There's Darren Fox. Thank you.
Damn. Is that gonna fall the moment he gets it out?
Oh my god. How am I supposed to even turn this now?
By the way, the person who knocks it over, your lineup doesn't even count.
He took Zion. Listen, that's the best I can do, people.
Jared Allen, you're coming home with me, friend.
Mr. IG Live himself.
Oh, the shooter.
Oh,
Jesus. That was hard in the Bulls' fault to get Zach LaVine.
Did you know AFR is also on Spotify and Apple Podcasts? Click the first link in the description below to listen to the most recent episode of the show.
If Miami can maintain their momentum and find a way to beat the Bucks in this series, you will be seeing us in the final. There's no question, ifs, ands, or buts about it, so be prepared to see us.
And the Miami Heat become the 6th in NBA history to win as an 8th seed in the first round.
Game wants his ring, and he's gonna get it, and he's like, fuck him. He's gotta play lights out. He's gonna come out there and play lights out. Butler's gonna put the whole load on his shoulders, and I say he wins game 1. Great momentum. That's how you start a series.
All 3 of the previous series, they were the underdog. All 3 of those series, they won game 1. Denver's 9-0 at home in the playoffs. They take game 1. Game 3 of the NBA Finals. The Denver Nuggets win their 4th straight road game in these playoffs and regain home court advantage. Game 4 of the NBA Finals. Denver Nuggets are 1 win away from their first ever NBA title. Game 5 of the NBA Finals. Murray falling away. Rebound, Brown banks it home. Bruce Brown puts the Nuggets back up by 1. Jimmy Butler on the drive, gets inside, stops. Stolen by Caldwell Pope. And a foul. 2 clutch free throws from Contavious Caldwell Pope. It's over. At last, the long wait is over. After 47 years, the Denver Nuggets can finally call themselves NBA champions.
Yeah. Still waiting, wanting got to keep me on chill. Don't you miss me? I'll kick you with my new bitch. I still.
Yep, in my white tee. Yeah, call up Mike Williams for the hype, please. They gon' wipe you before you wipe me. My boxes of checks, not my Nikes. Cactus, not no iced tea. Got them bamboozled like I'm Spike Lee. You need more than Google just to find me. I just call a beta, get a hyphy.
Incredible, general.
I just got the label just to sign me. Me and Chase connected like we signed.
We all know how Kirk Cousins does on prime time.
You're damn right.
I'm taking the Eagles minus the 7.
I'm not saying that Seattle's going to win. I just think they'll be within a touchdown. The Seahawks can't really play any worse than they did.
I didn't see Justin Fields like comfortable standing where he had to pass to or when he had to run the ball. I don't know. They look lost on offense, in my opinion. So I go with Tampa points.
If they go down 14-17-0 in the first quarter, they're not coming back and beating this team.
Oh,
like
yeah.
The Eagles.
That cannot happen.
That's why I'm going Miami. I have no faith in the Steelers.
I'm also taking the Browns to cover the 2 points.
Young, Stroud, and Richardson. Which one do you guys think had the better week? Now, personally, I think Bryce Young struggled the most. 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions, only 146 yards. I think he had like a 24 quarterback rating. It was pretty terrible. Stroud, his team was never really in it against the Ravens. He was 28 for 44, 242 yards, I think. Just pedestrian numbers. They only scored 9 points in that game. The offense never really looked like they were moving well. So me personally, I would have to go with Anthony Richardson. He was the quarterback that I was hoping that if the Seahawks would pick a quarterback in the draft, it would have been him. He's less polished than the others, but he has more athletic talent. He had 223 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, but I think that 40 yards rushing and that touchdown that he had in that game was the difference of really making that game competitive when it came between the Jaguars and the Colts. So you let us know. Was it Stroud? Was it Young? Was it Richardson? Who had the best week 1 rookie quarterbacks?
Out of all of the NFL teams that are undefeated, which one do you think is the worst team? I gotta say, in the NFC, there's a few fraudulent teams I think that are there. You've got Washington, Tampa, and Atlanta. Washington, they've actually got a good amount going on there. That defense, especially their defensive line, I think is very promising. And Sam Howell can kind of only get better from here. I do think that Washington, they're all right. Between Atlanta and Tampa, though, they're kind of both equally fraudulent. If I have to pick, though, I think Atlanta is a bit more suspect. I'm going to put Tampa to the side only because Tampa does have more experienced players, especially at the quarterback position. They've got a lot of veteran guys. I still don't think that they're going to be undefeated very long. They've got the Eagles on Monday night. Say goodbye to that 2-0 record. Even with that being said, I still think that the Falcons are the more fraudulent undefeated team right now. Who do you think, though?
Which is the best 0-2 team in the NFL right now? 9 teams, 0-2. You might want to say Kirk Cousins and Justin Jefferson in Minnesota, but 7 turnovers, that fan base being dog shit, giving death threats out to the running back. Then you have the Denver Broncos, maybe, but Sean Payton, Russell Wilson don't really seem to be on the same page, and Russell Wilson thinks that a football game is only 2 quarters now. My money's got to be with the Cincinnati Bengals. They've been to a Super Bowl. They've been deep in the playoffs last year. Burrow, Higgins, Chase, still got Mixon. That's a squad. I'm surprised that offense is not doing better than what it is now, but you got to think they're going to get it figured out and turn this ship around. So I'm going to go with Cincinnati. What do you guys think in the comments?
Remember to follow the show on TikTok and Instagram at FA Sports. Now back to your favorite show on the internet with your hosts, Jaylon, Malon, Nestor, and G Money.
Welcome back to the show. Welcome back to your favorite show on the internet. We've got G Money here for the second half. G Money, what's going on?
Man, going good today. All things considered. Good to see Shaq. Shaq, how you doing, my friend? Kind of miss not seeing that huge monolithic head that you have. I was like lost at times. Lost my bearing.
I'm alive. Still a wonderful blimp in the world.
It's like we have Shaq over here on the East Coast, and on the West Coast, I got that giant sphere they built in Vegas, where they do the.
You get confused sometimes. You go to Vegas, you see the sphere. I think, God damn, Shaq's here. I gotta go see him. We got a party. Oops.
And then it shows up as a. Then it shows up as a giant yellow emoji, and I was like, "Well, Shaq ain't yellow. So.
Can't be him.
That's not him."
Yeah, it's always good when Shaq is in the house. He's got a fresh haircut. Ladies, look out.
Best show on YouTube where we talk about Daniel Jones being the possible MVP and Baker Mayfield being a great quarterback. We got some hot takes.
Right, that we do. With that being said, let's get right into community comments.
I knew I was going to get G Money riled up. He was like, "What would it?" Nope, not.
I'm like, well, yeah, Baker Mayfield's not a bad quarterback.
He's not bad, but he's not great.
I mean, he's not
That is true.
bad. I mean, really, I bet you right now Cleveland's wishing they still had him.
Well, yes.
And had him guaranteed $230 million.
Get into the community comments before we dig up the Browns here. Yeah,
might need to dig them up because they're buried.
So before the 1:00 games kicked off on Sunday, I asked who was going to win between the Chiefs and the Jaguars, and the people had to say that you Wham 8 is his name, said Trevor Lawrence over everyone, and then they lost.
Well, that didn't work out.
Yep.
That was bad.
So I'm gonna read it because he commented it. Jay said, after they kicked out Cap for being pro-black, I stopped watching the NFL. That was all he said.
Why are you commenting on an NFL question then?
I don't know.
What's his name?
Just Jay.
Jay, get a fucking light.
I don't. What led you to this video if you don't watch the NFL?
Like, go.
I mean, seriously, why are you trolling?
Right.
Go die.
Well, don't die. Just keep on watching the videos and making stupid comments.
No, because I don't want him to live because he's going to vote for the next president. And he honestly has no fucking clue about anything.
Last but not least, the Fly Ziploc bag says, at the beginning of the week, I chose the Chiefs, but today I switched to the Jags. It's going to be a good game, but I think the Chiefs may start 0-2. If that does happen, the Chiefs will be doubted, but I don't think they lose many more after this. They aren't bad, but may have a bad start. Well, not to worry because that didn't happen.
Well, again, I had Lawrence and Ridley.
Right.
That wasn't good.
Yeah.
I had a combined 11 points between the two of them.
Good God.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, sir. That is terrible.
But I still won.
I mean,
damn, who did you play?
What?
Bad,
Who did
but
you
you
play?
know.
I don't know. I still put up 130 points, though.
Wow.
Yeah. 11th place my ass. Doing things.
I want to know who took that L. That's pretty bad.
Oh, I'll tell you.
While you look that up, I'll move on to the next video here. So Malin had asked who is the best 0-2 team right now. This was, I think this has got the most comments here. Nestor said Cincinnati easily. Junebug also said Bengals for sure. Mark M says Chargers should be 2-0. It's good. Coulda, shoulda, woulda there by Mark.
What?
Yeah.
Then Nestor replied to him and said Chargers deserve to be 0-3 by the end of this week.
Damn.
Moving over to Instagram. Kaysen said the Chargers. And then if I go over to YouTube here. Hold on. Austin says Cincinnati, and then SB, a bunch of letters and numbers, says Minnesota. Minnesota? Are you for real? You gotta be a bot or something. You're just making stuff up.
It was Team Myers.
Team Myers.
Who's
I
Team
think that's
Myers?
Jordan. He took a fat L this week.
Yeah, I whooped his ass by 30 points.
Jesus Christ.
And I'm sorry, they got 14 points total between the two of them.
That's pretty bad.
It's not good.
Right. And then moving on to the last video here, the worst 2-0 team. Jackson Zuleski says Atlanta and Tampa would kill the Saints. The Saints are the only fraud team in the South. Jesus. Jackson.
So.
God. What did jambalaya and gumbo ever do to you, sir?
Jackson's feeling violent. I don't know how to pronounce this person's name, but he says, I don't think Atlanta is the most fraudulent 2-0 team. Tampa, I would say, are much more worse just because they have a more veteran quarterback, makes them less fraudulent. I don't think so. Our defense is actually pretty good, and Bijan Robinson is incredible.
Oh, so he's a Falcons fan.
Right. Thank you for your comment.
I mean, I do think that Tampa's worse.
And then Kowepi 1900 says Cowboys.
Did he not even understand the question? This is the typical Dallas fan.
He just wanted to put his team out there.
You just, no matter what the question is.
It's
I just clicked that. No,
The
he
answer
did
is
mean
Dallas.
he did mean the Cowboys. I clicked on his profile. He's a Commanders fan, so he was trying to throw this some shade. But
what an idiot!
He's a Bayern
I mean, how
fan,
can you-
a Dortmund fan, and a Commanders fan. That's interesting.
He's a what?
Bayern Munich, Dortmund, and Commanders. That's interesting
Guy's on drugs.
combination.
Is it Bayern Munich fan?
Yeah, he's on
Fucking
drugs.
Definitely on drugs.
douchebag.
That better be like an overseas football club.
It is.
Oh.
Yeah.
It is Bayern Munich.
Okay. Well, I was just saying, like, listen, if it's one of, Dan Snyder's brothel houses, it would make a little bit more sense.
No, I think that's in Milan.
And then I think. All right, so on TikTok, Junebug said Washington. Malin says stop hating on Tampa. Stop not hating on Tampa. They are trash and will always be trash. Baker ball is as deflated as Tom Brady's balls.
Goddamn right. Posted that 3 hours ago.
Product Bloom says Dolphins are taking it this year. Nestor, did you make a second account?
Yeah,
That
he's
was
got a
not
lot
me.
of burner accounts there.
That was not me.
He's like, nah, but they're pretty smart, though.
I love how this person, stupid, completely ignore the question. But anyway, Owen says Washington is solid. Don't hate on us. We might be for real.
You know what?
God
damn.
Thanks, Owen. And
I mean-
thanks, Product Bloom.
And these people vote.
Yeah, sure, a good amount of them do.
That pisses me off.
Some of them are kids, but most of them are adults.
That's terrible.
I
No
mean,
comments from Peanut Butter Jelly 69.
This week he was took a hiatus. Maybe next week.
He was busy with peanut butter and jelly.
Yeah,
Just
he was slapping that jelly.
shit.
All right.
That happened. That might be the one that gets kicked off.
Let's
You guys-
move on to the ride or
You guys
die.
know I'm sponsoring our Ride or Die with this
Oh, I got the
great beer.
BBC. There you go.
Yeah, all right. Okay.
Have you seen that beer shack? The Colombia's finest.
British Beer Company.
Oh, I thought it was Big Black Cock Beer.
That's what I do.
Was I wrong?
I was like,
Was
oh my
I-
God.
Was I wrong? Was that? Is that
He's
not
got the
what it was?
BBC beer again.
And he's drinking it. He's drinking it. It's going bottoms up.
He's taking it all the way down. He's
Yep.
throating that.
Jesus Christ.
And big. Gotta make sure we're still live by the end of the show.
You about to pour that down for some homies. You about to, I ain't drinking no more of this shit.
It's got honey ale. Pretty good.
Yeah, I bet there is a taste of honey.
There's a little bit of honey in there.
Yeah, there is a
sure.
little bit of honeycomb.
My gosh.
I'll never buy this beer again.
You know.
And it's a whole honey hive.
I've been wanting to say that for weeks.
Well, if you want to get that beer, head on down to Sarasota if you want to find that.
Yeah.
Can't say I've seen that up here in Tampa, but
There's a lot of them down there looking for the BBC.
let's get into the good
Jack
one.
about to get in his car right now.
Speed 200 miles an hour down to Sarasota.
he's like, I'll bottle some shit. So who needs a keg of the BBC? Baby?
Let's get to the Ryder Giant.
Yeah, let's go ahead before we really get canceled. He's really thinking about it, though. Look at him. I'm about to.
Here are our records as they currently stand in the Ride or Die in 5. This will be Shaq's first time on this season's game, so he'll have to update himself here. But Malin still leading the way at 186 and 123. He is plus 61. He went 2-3 last week. I am 196 and 156 plus 40. Also went 2-3 last week. Nestor 81 and 61. He is plus 20 right now. He went 4-1 last week.
That's what the BBC will do for you.
Got it right up in him.
Get that dub.
G Money 103 and 87. He is plus 16. He also went 2-3 last week.
Not a good week.
Yeah, for most of the show, not a very good
Had to struggle.
Yeah.
That was.
Yeah, I mean,
damn.
I blame.
I want to freaking punch Sean McVay and basically, rent his wife out. Because that field goal blast, as the time was expiring, that was bullshit.
I think
that was total bullshit, and he knows it.
I think Shaq is wondering what the lease is. What is?
G Money, you're second in line on that
one. He wants to know what are the terms of the lease. He's got a 6-pack of BBC.
There's a waiver wire.
Order list. Wire.
I don't know what the rule is on international women, but anyway, let's get into the first game of the week. Thursday, tomorrow night, we got the Giants and the 49ers. 10-point spread here in favor of the 49ers, of course. If you want the Giants money line, Shaq, it is plus 430. he can take the Giants money line.
No,
right ahead.
We decided this last year. We let Nestor do it one time. We weren't doing the money line anymore.
You could take the money line on the underdog. You just cannot take it on the favorite team. So if Shaq wants to plunge, he's free to do that.
He wants to plunge.
If you do the underdog, you might as well take the points. I mean, really, when you think about it.
We're not G-Money. There's no thinking here. Shaq.
He said
Go ahead.
Stop kidding me. Stop giving advice. Let Shaq do Shaq things.
That's right.
And then we'll let Nestor do Nestor thing.
Shaq, what do you like here?
No. 49ers. We're going to pick 49ers. As much as the Giants got the wonderful MVP on their team, we're not going to go ahead and entertain that right now this week.
I would just like to point out that Nestor took a big old sip of that BBC and licked his lips and almost choked on it. I just saw it in the camera.
Never buying that beer again.
Right.
He's going to have to get masking tape and put him over all his beers now.
Man, this beer is great. Great beer.
Yeah. Great taste, less filling.
There's a lot of filling, I'm sure.
Yeah, probably.
More
Like
filling tastes good.
Like a Boston cream donut over there. Just. Yeah, I broke Shaq.
G-Money.
Talk about BBC's for the past 10 minutes, nothing about football.
G-Money, what do you like in this game?
Well, as I said earlier, I'm taking the Niners minus the points, and the Niners are going to be all over the MVP, like drunken Marines on a $5 whore. and they're not going to let up. I mean, when it's all over, he's going to need to take numerous showers. It's just going to be that bad.
Jesus.
People will be turning it off at like halftime. I can't watch this anymore. It's just wrong.
It's getting dark.
Yeah.
You want me to go next?
Go
okay.
ahead.
So, you got the Niners -10 on a Thursday night. This is troubling to me because if I take the Niners and the Giants cover, TD is going to be on me like BBC on Nestor's face. It is going to be uncomfortable.
Just if they cover.
Just if they cover.
Right.
I'm going to have gargling and MVP chants happening.
You don't want either one of those.
Yeah. There's going to be some throating. I don't want that. But smart money says that Nestor buys shit beer. So I'm going the Niners. -10.
Amen.
Purdy hasn't lost yet. He's going to at some point. He has to at some point. No one from Iowa State can go undefeated for this fucking long. But this defense is real. And I think they're going to wreak havoc on a Barkley-less Giants offense. And Daniel Jones historically has played a lot worse without Saquon Barkley. Right. So that's why I'm going to go ahead and go with the Niners -10. I swear to God, it pisses me off when you have to hear people go bang, bang, Niner gang online. That is just drives me fucking nuts. And then you also hear like Niners faithful. They're not faithful. They're Johnny. These people 3 years ago were saying that Jimmy Garoppolo was going to win him a Super Bowl. So they're not faithful. So yeah, it's disgusting. This
Bang bang Niner game.
Oh yeah,
that's a thing.
It is a thing online. If you're a part of anything like NFC West, like things on social media, you hear it all the time. They think, it's
well,
yeah,
shit.
They call themselves a gang. Like your team plays in Santa Monica.
Yeah.
Santa Clara.
Right.
Like the IT capital.
Right.
Google has more fans in the stands because you guys can't afford to go to the games. Most of them could probably be deported. I don't think a lot of them even have green cards that are Niner fans right now.
Niners fans roll deep.
They can change a tire.
Oh yeah.
And the
15
oil.
seconds.
But no.
Nestor, what do you like in this game? Why is our MVP going to take us to the promised land?
First thing, it's a
go.
Thursday game. I don't trust Thursday games with this wide of a spread. I don't like him at all. I don't trust him. The Giants do have the future MVP. They have the future MVP, and this man has a lot more confidence. He's balling out. He balled out against the Cardinals. Give me the Niners -10.
This man doing typical goddamn Nestor shit.
He's back, baby.
All the reasons why he shouldn't. And then he's like, give me. That's that BBC.
I am also going to follow suit. Give me the Niners and the points. If Saquon was playing, I would still take the Niners and the points. But I would like to think the spread would be a little closer, like maybe 8 points-ish, maybe 7. But even with that being said, I'd still take the Niners to cover.
They're just playing really. Besides, like the Cowboys and the Niners.
Yes.
Two teams that have had the most dominant wins. Sorry, Shaq. I know one of those was against your Steelers. But the most dominant.
Yeah.
Those two teams.
Yeah, Brock Purdy is looking good right now.
Pissing me off.
Like he said, Iowa State.
That's
Who
okay.
would've
He'll
thought?
be injured by like week 5 or 6.
G-Money,
Because
don't do
that's
Well, that's what normally
what
happens to
Shanahan
San
does. He
Francisco
kills the
quarterbacks.
quarterbacks.
Gosh.
Does.
And then you have Sam Darnold playing.
Oh man, if we get fucking Sam Darnold,
There you go.
they're
There you
probably
go.
going to the
Oh, we
Super
probably
Bowl.
won't get Sam Darnold. By the time we play, it'll be someone they pick up off the waiver wire. I don't know
Carson
whoever's on the
Wentz,
practice
yeah.
squad.
Carson
Because he'll get
Wentz.
Sam Darnold killed too.
Matt Ryan. Didn't Tom Brady always want to play for the Niners?
I swear.
He did. But
Let's move on
For him
here.
to play, he'd have to sell his stake in the Raiders.
Well, it hasn't been
And,
finalized.
you know, that's an
yet.
investment.
I'm just saying.
It's not like that cryptocurrency he invested in and he lost his fucking ass on. This actually he can make money on.
I love this show.
That's what moving to Tampa will do to you.
This show's you
Let's
lose your
go.
wife, lose your crypto. Everybody should move down here. Kind of felt like me and Tom Brady are one and the same right now. This is great. You can cut that out.
Oh, man.
I really hope you can cut that out.
Let's move on.
Hope nobody
Sunday at 1 o'clock.
watching this. Shouldn't have said that.
We've got the Bills and the Commanders.
God damn.
The Commanders 6.5 point underdogs at home. Their money line plus 250. Let's go with Malin. Would you like to go first?
No, I'm taking the Bills on this one.
All right.
I think that Josh Allen showed us that he's still a Josh Allen. I think he's gonna do enough. I mean, listen, Washington. Come on, the Bills are a lot more talented than Denver. I just think that Buffalo is going to roll the 2-1 to win by more than a touchdown. Howell, not a big fan of Ron Rivera.
Yeah.
I think that Ron Rivera, honestly, is like the Sean Paytons in the NFL, the Mike McCarthy's, where you could have one great season, you write it out for 10, 12 years. Not a great head coach. Good motivator. Glad you beat cancer. James Conner is playing running back because he beat cancer. But at the end of the day, are you really worth it? So, yeah. Kind of crucial catch and all. You're going to get your ass beat.
You know, we usually do a spooky theme for the month of October on the show, but we may have to make that a breast cancer awareness theme on October for this show.
There's a lot of them. There's a lot of them. If you have cancer, you can get a job in the NFL. Just saying.
Even if it's not draft.
Hey, if you get testicular cancer, you could be the quarterback of the Giants.
Well,
Or sponsor the beer that Ness is drinking.
No balls, Jones.
What month is testicular cancer awareness?
I don't think they have a month for that for men. I think they only care
The
about
hell?
boobies.
Damn, no love.
No
for
one
the-
cares about the reproductive
Who
system.
doesn't?
Yeah.
Well said, money.
You know who owns BBC? It's got to be Joe Mixon. Big balls Mixon.
Let's who's next? G-Money.
Oh, he's holding up an empty Stella can. An empty Stella can that he's pretending to drink out of.
I mean, I do like the Redskins' defense. I really do.
The Redskins.
But I'm not sold on Sam Howell yet. So give me the Bills minus the points.
I would just like to point out how I love how unpolitically correct G Money wants to be. He's like, fuck your Washington football team and your Washington Commanders. And all you sissy ass people, we're going Redskins.
They're still the Redskins.
You are.
I mean, the Redskins are the Redskins, or the Commanders, or the Washington football team, or we're going to name it something else. So it's not the Commanders, it's not the Washington football team, and we're not going to be the Redskins. We're going to be something else, something new, something great, something you can be proud of.
Well, I can guarantee they're not going to be
not.
great.
We're going to suck still. We're going to be the sucksters, because we're going to suck for the next 5 years.
Yeah, they're not going to be great. I can guarantee that.
You take that.
You know what's hilarious is that there is a Native American coalition out there that got over 90,000 votes that want them to change the name back to the Redskins. Can we make up our fucking minds on if this is offensive or not?
Well,
we already got the
white people
Cleveland
decided it was
Guardians. Like, do
offensive.
they get to go back to the Indians? Like, do we still got to deal with this dumbass name with the Cleveland
The
Guardians?
next petition is for that one.
The Florida State Seminoles, they decided to pay money, so they got to keep their name.
So Washington, they should have just paid up. That's what the
Yeah,
problem was.
because in Tallahassee, you can still get a bunch of white kids doing the tomahawk shit because they paid money.
Right. They paid for those rights.
Yeah. They put an Indian
But
out
the
there on a
Seminoles
horse
never
to
had
put a-
tomahawks. I mean, that's the funny part, is they're doing the tomahawk shock,
don't
and
even know
the
what they
Seminole Indians never used a tomahawk. It's like, well, wait a minute now. You got the Cherokees going, wait a minute now, that's our thing. The fuck is going on here? It's like, oh, wait a minute, we own half of Oklahoma and all the oil was. So, yeah, go ahead, use the fucking tomahawk.
No one
shock.
ever said that
We don't
racists were
care.
smart. We're not.
What other show when you try and make your betting
It's just
picks
like
do you
white
get
people
these
aren't
kind
smart.
of takes?
That's all it is. White people aren't smart.
Well,
It's
well, okay. We
we're
are
not.
smart because we did pull the wool over everybody else's eyes. It's like I think it was Tosh Jones was like literally said, like how do we get away with slavery for so many years when black people could just whoop our ass at any point and get away with it. And if they wanted to run away, we would never catch them. And it's completely true.
Well, we did catch them. And we
Okay,
shot them,
let's
we found
not-
them, and we beat
let's-
them. And so others were like,
Let's not
yeah,
go
fuck
any
no, I'm not gonna
further
run away. I don't
down-
think that's a good idea.
Down that road.
I mean,
But yeah, Tosh Jones, he has a good little comedy trip on that. You guys should listen to it. He thinks it's neat, by the way.
So we went Malin Jumani, Nestor, I believe.
Oh,
you're
yeah,
next.
I don't think we.
and then we went off the tracks.
Oh, are we going BBC?
Yes, we're going BBC next.
Big Black Cock, what you got?
I didn't like the spread.
Yeah,
and now I can't
most
even
people
talk.
don't.
If it was a little bit higher, I'd be going with the Commanders because I think they're gonna give the Bills a better game than we expect, just because
How much
I
elevation
like
you
the talent
need?
they got on that team. But give me the Bills. I hate it. By the way, but give me the Bills minus a 6.5.
I'm actually going to take the Commanders in the points on this one.
Ooh.
Wow.
Don't think they're going to win, but I think they'll be close. The Bills have been a little rusty as of late, and I think that will continue. I don't think the Commanders are a bad team. I think they are solid. They're going to put up a good fight and probably lose in a game-winning drive attempt where they're down like a field goal or something like that. So I'm going to take Washington and the points on this one. And please, please don't fuck me on this one, Sam Howell. Just for the love of God. Just keep it close. That's all
he's
I
gonna
ask.
fuck you.
I don't.
He's about to send you a 6-pack of BBC.
I don't need that 6-pack. You can keep it.
About to send you a whole case.
Shaq, tell us why Sam Howell's not sending us a 6-pack of BBCs.
This joke is never going away, by the way.
You better forward it to Sarasota, okay?
Right, send that right on down the road. Send a 12-pack down there.
I can agree with Joe in here. I think this team is a lot better
Let's
than
go.
Still god awful, but I'm gonna agree with
No, they're not god awful. If they're god awful, they're getting blown out.
Yes. I miss Shaq on this show. That's so great. If I don't hear god awful like 5 times, and we haven't even been talking about the Steelers. We ain't even talked about the Steelers yet.
Oh, we will.
No.
God awful team. See, I just said it with him.
This team.
God, I love it.
We were joking last week that when we picked the Browns Steelers game, how you would have been just shit talking in the entire segment.
Oh, absolutely. I'm so upset already watching the game. So upset.
Even when they,
Right, even with them winning.
even when they win, he was like, "Oh, Watt gonna scoop up and score a touchdown." Bet you couldn't do that 2 seconds faster. He's like,
Look, this team infuriates me, okay? Week in, week out, even in the opposite.
All right, let's keep it moving. We've only gone through 2 games here. Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
1 o'clock Sunday, we've got the Saints at the Packers. Where the Packers are 2-point favorites at home. Malin, what do you like in this one?
"Going Packers on this."
Okay.
I really like Jordan Love with Matt LaFleur. New Orleans, yes, they're undefeated. Yes, I do think the Bucks are worse than them, but I do think that New Orleans is still vulnerable. And I think you're going into Green Bay. Jordan Love still has something to prove. And it's really going to piss me off. Like if Jordan Love ends up being the next,
Right.
if they get to go from Favre to Rodgers and Love ends up being even a Pro Bowl quarterback, what type of voodoo shit do they got going on in Cheeseville that's going to piss me off?
Someone under Lambeau Field.
But I just think that Adam Jones is supposed to play. My pick is predicated on Adam Jones coming back into the lineup. He's supposed to play.
Aaron Jones.
God damn it. He's predicated. He's supposed to play. And if he does, he's going to help take some pressure off of Jordan Love. So I'm reluctantly taking Green Bay.
Yeah.
But I do think New Orleans is dangerous.
Yeah.
This could be one of my L's. Not a BBC.
Right.
Sorry, Nestor.
Rightfully so.
Oh, I'm drinking Stella.
No, you're not. he poured the BBC in the Stella cans. We did it off camera.
Nestor, what is your pick in this one?
I am on the Green Bay hype train with Jordan Love. I think he's great, and if my running back for my fantasy team plays Mr. Aaron Jones, it is over for the Saints. Like I said, I feel like the Saints is the worst 2-0 team. They played the Titans. They played the Panthers.
Yeah.
They are no idea what they are in store for when they go to Green Bay. So, you know what? Give me the Green Bay -2.
All right. I'm going to agree with you guys. I'm also taking the Packers to cover the 2 points at home. I think this is their first home game. They played Atlanta on the road, and then prior to that, I think Chicago on the road.
I think so.
Yeah, so back in Lambeau Field, I'm sure they'll be very happy to have their own Jordan Love wrap their arms around him, so to speak. Give me the Packers at home. I think this will be a pretty good game. The Saints will stay in it the whole time. I can't see this being really much of a blowout either way, but yeah, I think the Packers will win this by one possession game.
Isn't it crazy how they hate Aaron Rodgers?
Just like that.
I mean, I know they hated Brett Favre in the same way, but they're like, nah, fuck you.
Right. Just
but
quick.
Brett Favre went down and went to the Jets and didn't do so good. They went to the Vikings and really did even worse. So they were like, okay, fine, he's gone. Fuck it. Aaron Rodgers goes to the Jets and third play goes down and he's out for the rest of the season. Even though he's saying that he could be back for the playoffs.
He crazy.
Yeah, keep on taking those hallucinogenics. Not only will you be back, but you'll see the whole fucking future too. No, it's the Packers. Packers fans are faithful to the Packers. Once you leave the Packers, they hate you. They do. They loathe you because you quit. You quit on the Packers. The Packers don't quit on you. You quit on the Packers, and that's how their fans feel. Not bad to have a fan base like that. And now they're laughing all the way to the bank because Aaron Rodgers is out, so the Jets are going to fucking suck because, we all know who they have at quarterback,
Well, I mean, the Jets are going to get
the only way
first
he
round
scores
pick.
is on your mom. That's about it.
Sorry, Mister.
I mean, but
how it starts.
I'll know why I went to Nestor.
G Money, who's your pick in this one?
That was weird.
I'm taking the Packers. Packers at home, -2. I like the Saints defense. Derek Carr is a good quarterback. He's not a great quarterback. I mean, look at his last stats against Carolina.
Not as good as
They
Baker,
were not
but-
good. In fact, they were straight up
Better than Baker.
ugly. They were like
Motherfucker.
they were so ugly that if they were someone's mom, they wouldn't have to worry about the Jets quarterback hitting on her.
Nestor, you're lucky that gas prices are so high and I can't drive down to Sarasota because I'd whoop your ass.
Being over the head with one of the BBCs he got in his fridge.
Probably.
This show should be banned about talking about BBC people's moms and people's wives.
No, that's normal. What else you got to talk about?
That's normal.
That's society. What do you want?
Nestor, you already went, right?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
so we're just left with Shaq. Shaq, who's your pick here?
Going Green Bay on this.
We're all going Green Bay.
Yeah, Green Bay.
All right. I'm just saying, if New Orleans covers the spread on this, I don't want to hear shit about me picking the Saints as being better than Tampa.
Well, we'll see. All right, here we go. Big game. Big game. Monday night, 7:15.
Oh, shit.
First game of the doubleheader.
Give me
We've
Philly.
got
Classic.
Philly.
the Philadelphia Eagles coming to the good old town of Tampa, Florida, where the Eagles.
8-1-3.
There we go.
Tampa Bay.
Eagles are 5-point
Fucking hate you.
favorites on the road. Tampa Bay, if you want their money line, plus 200, Shaq.
No one's taking the money line.
Keep mentioning me as much.
Put 100 down, get 200 back plus my 100.
You don't get
Oh
it.
yeah.
Oh, yeah. Let's start off with G Money. What do you like in this one?
So when we look at it, Philadelphia hasn't played up to their potential. They really haven't. And Tampa has a solid well, I won't say solid, but their defense is good. Offensively, I'm not impressed. They don't really have a running game. Baker Mayfield is doing Baker Mayfield. He's doing Baker Mayfield Cleveland 1.0, like he did when he took them to the playoffs. But he's facing a defense that's going to stop him. And Tampa doesn't have a running game. If I'm not mistaken, Mike Evans still wants to be traded. So, maybe he plays, maybe he doesn't. I mean, I don't know how management feels about that. And I think Philadelphia has underwhelmed the last two games. I think this is the game that they play the way they're supposed to play. I wouldn't be surprised to see Penny rush for like 40 or 50 yards on probably 6 or 7 carries. And I wouldn't be surprised to see AJ and Devontae Smith have between them about 200 yards receiving. So I'm taking Philadelphia, and I'm laying the 5 points.
Nestor.
I think -5 is pretty, accurate. It's pretty good for me. So I'll go Philly -5. But I think Baker Mayfield and that Bucks defense is gonna make it pretty close. So I wouldn't be surprised if Philly doesn't cover here. But yeah, give me Philly -5, whatever.
What? How many BBCs have you had? You just picked them, and then you said you wouldn't be surprised if they didn't cover.
Yeah, I wouldn't. Yeah.
He's speaking
just because of Baker Mayfield.
The BBC.
Because of Baker, what?
Like double fisting BBC. So you can't think straight.
Double fisting.
That's right. Too many BBCs, man. And that'll do it to you. I have heard if. Yeah.
No.
BBC train,
No.
It'll wreck you.
No, we're not going there. The love affair that this show seems to have with Baker Mayfield right now, though.
He's our guy.
No, he's not. He's not.
Daniel Jones.
Don't say our guy.
Right. DJ?
No.
And Baker Ball.
Nope. Not doing it.
He was so passionate about football.
I'll go real quick here.
About football.
With the Bucks being undefeated here, we got 2 undefeated teams coming into this game right here.
Oh,
both in the NFC.
Just Goliaths.
We've got
one of them got Baker though.
One of them has Baker, the other does not. One of them has Mike Evans, the other does not. One of them has Chris Godwin, the other does not.
You're going with the Bucks.
This is why the Philadelphia Eagles will cover the 5 points on Monday night, because they are the better football team.
This man just pulled a fucking Nestor.
Took a page out of Nestor's book and put it into mine.
That's because he knew I was about to punch him in the face.
I'm sorry, Tampa, but your wild ride is over come Monday night.
He's only doing this because he knows that he's the only person that could do a dumbass take, and I have swinging distance.
I kind of hope to be wrong on this one. Out of all these games, if I'm wrong,
why do you want Tampa to fucking win so bad lately?
I want to see the Tampa Bay continue.
No, you don't.
But
it's terrible.
I don't think it will. I think it ends on Monday night.
No one likes Tampa Bay.
There's several 100,000 people here that actually really like it.
Okay, there's like 5,000 people.
Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, the rest of them can't afford to buy bug stuff. They're living in trailer parks. They just got flooded with a hurricane. What are we
taking the Eagles?
Now they're living in tents or the back of their car.
Well, they don't own cars. They're using public transportation or bicycles.
You guys don't even have public transit.
A little bit.
buses that run through
We
there.
got
There's
we
no
got
public transportation.
we got a few buses
Yeah, you can get about 10 miles up and down the Dale Mabry here.
north or
That's about it.
south.
Right.
That's about what you get.
Don't have transportation.
Our best public transportation is those damn scooters.
Yeah, we've got the fucking Lime scooters.
Shut up!
and,
You're in Sarasota.
Spin.
You don't even have any
$6
transportation
for, like,
where you
2
live. There's no transportation where you live. You might as well be in the Philippines riding on gypsies.
Malin, why are you taking the Bucks and Baker Ball in this game?
Okay, I'm not. And if someone wants to napalm the stadium,
money
you're
line.
welcome to.
The money line.
I'm not taking the fucking money line either, Shaq. Fucking hate that. Okay, so the Eagles have not lived up to their potential, right? Okay.
Right.
The Bucks have reached their potential. Playing the Bears. Stop with the okay. Jalen, I'm not liking this. You rooting for just because your Patriots are shit.
We don't know
Doesn't
that.
mean that you get to start rooting for the fucking Bucks now. Because that's what you've been doing for 2 weeks.
I'm just saying, it's only been 2 weeks.
Rooting for the goddamn Bucks for 2 weeks.
We don't know how high this ceiling is.
Motherfucker. We're not doing this with you becoming a Bucks fan. All right. Brady is no longer a Buck. He's retired.
Well,
you don't know. You're not red and pewter, whatever the fuck their
Finish
numbers
telling us.
are, or red and pedophiles, whatever the fuck it is their colors are. No, we're not going with the goddamn Bucks. All right. The fucking Eagles are gonna win this goddamn game.
Well,
Jalen Hurts is gonna do some shit. AJ Brown is gonna finally catch a fucking ball. Deontay Swift is gonna run all over these fucking people.
Yes, he will.
And the goddamn Eagles are gonna cover the spread. They're gonna beat the shit out of the Bucks, and everybody's gonna leave Raymond James Stadium crying because they all got a big dose of the BBC. All right. So
Jalen, if the Bucks win, you have to do a video on this.
You already know.
no, fuck y'all. This is pissing me off with this Bucks love going on here.
I swear to God, don't let them win. For the love of God, just don't. Shaq.
As much as I want to take the Super Bowl future MVP and the money line, I'm going to go ahead and agree that the Bucks will not be winning this. So
where did G Money go?
Let that die right there.
I'm going to go put money on this game right now. Not gonna lie, I'm a little worried about this game because we all agreed. So,
What do you think? How much touchdown passes do you think Mayfield dropping?
No, God, it's not.
Just saying,
they're not. No, they're not going 3-0. All right,
they go 3-0. They're beating the Saints. It's gonna be 4-0. Just letting you know.
Then everybody's driving around with Buck flags. They're yelling, "Go Bucks!" They can't even spell Bucks, let alone Buccaneers. They can't spell Bucks. It's like Buks, because they're stupid.
I hate all of you except for G Money.
Us Tampa natives, we know.
Exactly.
We know.
He's passionate about football. He's living in the Brown Stadium. He's probably living
You're
in
a
the Bucs
Patriots fan and he's a Steelers fan, and the other one that's living in Sarasota is a Dolphins fan. All of you had the fucking chance to be Buccaneers fans, and you all said no. What are we doing?
And most of the Buck fans tried to sell their season tickets online.
Why are you guys trying to make me angry?
Baby. Not this year.
You're trying to get me riled up.
They're going 4-0.
All right, let's hit this last Monday night game here.
Yeah, first of all, why are we keep doing 2 Monday night games 1 hour apart?
They usually do that once But I don't know
why are
why
we
they're
doing
it
it twice?
Yeah,
It's not that popular.
right.
Money.
But
Well, it's all about the Benjamins, my friend. All about the Benjamins.
But everyone knows that once the second game starts, no one gives a shit about
Right.
the first game.
Especially
So
once
that's why the Bucks are in the first game.
Right. Once the Eagles are up 27-0, then no one's going to care. So we got the Rams at the Bengals.
Hey, are we going to the? Are we doing Miller's thing?
I'll get back to you on that.
Okay.
Rams at the Bengals. We've got a Super Bowl rematch here, where the Bengals haven't won a game yet, but 2-point favorites at home. I'll go first on this one. I'm going to take the Bengals to cover the 2 points. I think at this point, this is their get-right game. The Rams aren't as bad as we thought they were going to be, at least so far. But I think the Bengals, it's like they kind of have to get it together at this point. Being at home, the Rams, not the greatest teams, not like they're playing the Ravens again, a divisional rival, or the Browns. They're playing the Rams. So I think that they get back on their business here. Jamar Chase has a big game, catches a lot of balls. T. Higgins has a good game. Joe Mixon runs all over the place. And the Bengals will start to look like the Bengals that we're used to. I say they win this by like at least a touchdown. So give me the Bengals to get back on track here, Nestor.
Yeah, give me Cincy. -2, pretty easy. Even though the LA Rams have been doing a lot better than we expected, especially with what's his name, Puka Nakua, or something like that.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I don't
Nakua.
see them winning this game. I think since he has to bounce back, and they know that, so give me the Bengals.
All right, Shaq.
I agree the odd man out in this one. I'm gonna say the Rams for this one to cover.
God bless.
Purely because I want to see Tennessee continue to drum themselves in the season and to start off 0-3. God bless them in their division. So,
I love it.
Personal reasons. G Money.
I'm all about
Yeah, I'm going to take the Rams. No one's sure that if Joe Burrow is going to start or not. And if he doesn't,
Yeah, he might not.
anybody know who the backup quarterback is?
It's Jake Browning.
And the Rams have looked good.
I just told you who the
And they
backup
did
quarterback
trade.
is.
They traded Akers to Minnesota. Obviously because number one he was holding out, number two because he wanted to smash McVay's wife. And once he
I
got
did
traded,
hear
he goes,
that.
"Hey, they need to trade everybody in LA because
Probably did smash
everyone
his
wants to
wife.
smash his wife." Hey, I'm just saying
pretty
what I
hot.
read.
Yeah, it's
That's
pretty
it. You know, just saying what I read.
I mean,
But no,
Can you blame
I
him?
mean the Rams are playing well, and it's interesting because with Cooper Kupp out, we all thought they weren't going to be as good as they were, and nobody was sure how Matthew Stafford was going to be coming back off of that injury, and it seems that Matthew Stafford has come back well off of the injury, and they don't miss Cooper Kupp, which might lead you to believe that at some point, maybe before the trade deadline, they trade Cooper Kupp. But I am taking the Rams. And I'll take the Rams plus the points.
All right. Malin.
What?
You got on this one.
This one's hard because I don't know if Joe Burrow is going to play. If he doesn't, Jake Browning is going to play, and he has not played a meaningful snap since the Rose Bowl in 2019. That's been 4 years. I actually like the Rams on this one.
Okay.
I don't want to bury the Bengals, but I kind of feel like the Rams that can get up and beat Seattle, play competitive against the Niners. Now you're going up against a Bengals team, which is tied for the least amount of points scored over 2 weeks, and your $55 million quarterback a year might not even be playing. And even if he is, he's only mustered up 27 points so far. This Rams offense, it doesn't matter if you have Cup, man. This Nakua kid, he was a Washington wide receiver that ended up going to BYU. Like, he is just open all the time. He's a great route runner. They've proven they don't need Cam Akers to be able to run the rock. So I'm going to go ahead and take the Rams with the +2. I just don't believe in the Bengals. I think they're good, but there's some issues there.
Yeah.
So it's concerning.
Well, all right. There's only 2 games that we differ on, with the Bills and the Commanders game, where Shaq and I are taking the Commanders and the points. And then this last game where Nestor and I are taking the Bengals to cover. So besides that, we're all agreeing on everything else.
Lockstep, which means we're all going to fucking lose.
Right.
Yeah.
That's great.
That's where we're at, folks. Yeah, should be an interesting week 3.
The best will be is 2 and 3. Any of us. It's going to be wonderful.
Should be very interesting to see. Week 3 should be fun. Be sure to follow us right there at AFR Sports, so you can keep up with what we're talking about throughout the next week or so. That's on Instagram and TikTok, so either way. And besides that, anything else you guys want to mention before we get up out of here?
Hey, shout out to BBC.
Right.
Yeah, all right. Handle your BBC responsibly, y'all.
Shout out to British Beer Company.
Or, no, I'm just playing. I'm not going to say it again. But we all know what it means.
Nestor
we all saw Nestor deep throating that shit too earlier. He was guzzling it.
Beer British.
Beer
I don't even know what I'm saying anymore.
Yeah. Probably was a bunch of British people.
I will be drinking Sarasota Beer Company.
There you go.
Beer next week.
Yeah, I'll figure out an acronym for that. Don't worry about it.
SBC? Isn't it like Super
SBC.
Black Cock?
Oh, God.
I'm just drinking Corona next week. That's it.
Yeah.
Just go.
Oh, my family.
Just go, Corona.
Safe bet.
Well, we want to thank June and G Money for being our guests once again this week. Appreciate you guys coming through. We will talk to you all next week. Have a good one. Peace.
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 Peace.